Sarah Colomello. I'm part of the Get Fit Challenge team. The Get Fit Challenge is ongoing right now. It ends in November, so we want you to get logging at wegetfit.org. And I have Dr. Sonnad with me. She's a family medicine doctor in LaGrange. I have been following you on Instagram, on your Plant Some Love Instagram page. And you've just inspired me to eat better, to work out. And so I thought you'd be perfect to do this interview, speaking about exercise, how you squeeze it all in, energy level, and just what are you going to do when it gets cold. So I just want to dive into and pick your brain on those subjects.
Yes, I'm looking forward to it, Sarah. It's good to see you. I've missed you. I haven't seen you in a long time.
I know, I miss you too. This COVID thing, it's difficult, but we'll get through it, right?
We'll get through it together, definitely.
So just a little bio, you are a busy mom.
Yeah. Yep.
You work as a physician full-time. You have two little children. So, you're living it. And so, but you're also really, physically fit and you work out a lot. So how do you do it? Do you have a nanny? How do you do it?
Yeah, you know what? No, I do not have a nanny. I always kind of wanted to do everything as best as I can. But, it's funny, Sarah, a lot of patients, have the same situation that I do. They're really busy. How do I do it? And, I hear all the time, I don't have time to work out, Doc. What am I going to do? And I kind of redirect their brain and say, you know what? You don't have time not to work out. Because so much evidence shows us, Sarah, that when you do work out, it improves your mental efficiency, your body productivity, your mental clarity, your focus. So it's actually proven that you're going to be more productive throughout the day if you do work out. So I kind of really love to empower them and say, hey, let's retrain it. If we say we don't have time, we're never going to get there, right? So we definitely have to say, I don't have time not to work out because it's going to make my life a lot easier. And I think, as you know, with two little kids too, like the family life balance is very important to me, and sometimes we don't always achieve that. So I always incorporate my kids into my workouts. So they know I'm going to work out. They know I work out all the time. Ideally, I do it in the morning, which is a little early, like 6:30 or so, weather permitting. We'll get there when it gets cold. But my daughter's 3. I'll put her in the stroller. She's like my trainer. She's like, Mommy, go faster, go faster. And my son is 6, and he actually will run like 3 or 4 miles right next to me. It's really cool. So there's actually, I tell a lot of my patients that are pregnant too, there's a lot of evidence that if you are a runner when you're pregnant, your kids are going to be runners. It's very cool. So they just know that exercise is, a part of my life. And I think what's also important, Sarah, is that tell your patients to have a plan. So to cut the guesswork, what's my workout going to be? You're not going to work out and say, what am I going to do? I know I'm going to get what I'm going to do every day. So I do weightlifting and cardio, right? So I do, Sarah, arm day, cardio, leg day, cardio, arm day, just like that, repeat. So there's not guesswork. My cardio changes, obviously. I will run, or I will do a HIIT workout, or HIIT workout, for those who don't know, is high intensity interval training. But I just know, today's arm day, so I know I'm going to do. So I always, if my patients don't have that plan, I give them a plan. I'll say, I'm going to talk to you in 6 weeks, and you're 42 days, you're going to have 35 workouts. And I just give them that direction. I think as soon as they hear that, they're like, oh, now I know I'm going to do every day. I think that really, really makes a difference.
Great. And I'm just picturing your 6-year-old running with you. That's fantastic.
He's really good, and he loves it. And I feel like it helps him be focused throughout the day, right? I mean, especially now, guys, with, parents, we're at home, they're in front of the computer now. 5, 6, 7 hours a day, if we get that energy out for our kids, they're able to sit a little bit longer. I've seen a difference. I mean, so we will see, how it goes. Yeah. But I think it makes a big difference, and it makes for healthier kids or healthier adults. It's inevitable. So it makes a big difference.
Great. Let's talk about energy level, because I think a lot of women, especially women who have children, young children, they're just exhausted. I know I've been there. And, 8:30 rolls around and I just want to hit the pillow. I do not want to go down and get on the treadmill or start doing arm training, as you say. So what, is there is that just being a tired mom? Is there a vitamin deficiency or iron deficiency that could be causing that?
Very, very good question. I think for all of us moms and patients at Avid right now, I just want people to know, listen, we're all doing the best we can. We all feel really tired. And I think it depends, right? Some days I really have tons of energy. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I'm very honest. Some days are really hard. The date was stressful. Patients were tricky. You know, depends on what Netflix series we're streaming and how late we stay up. But what I do tell my patients, there are some specific vitamins and ways that we live our life that can help, right? So vitamin B12 is something that we have really found to help, boost our energy levels. We do store our B12 in the liver, but at the same time, we have found a lot of evidence that if it's a little bit higher, people really do feel a lot better. And vitamin D3 is very important too. And there is a lot of evidence showing us if our D3 stores are adequate, it actually can protect us a little bit against getting COVID. So right now, guys, if you're going to pick up a supplement, the vitamin D3 is very, very good. Aim to get, like 5,000 to 7,000 units a week. That can really, really help. And then too, if this fatigue level continues, hydration, I tell all my patients, is so crucial. I think 75% of the population is dehydrated. So an easy way is to drink half of your weight in ounces every day. Hydration is the simplest way. So if you weigh 140 pounds, you need 70 ounces of water every day, and it makes a huge difference. So I think just giving ourselves a break and listening to our bodies here, like I try and do it all the time in the morning, but sometimes the kids, they want to cuddle. So you're going to cuddle and you're going to try and work out at night. And if it doesn't happen, you wake up the next day and every day say, I'm going to try and be as healthy as I can today. But I think especially now, giving ourselves a little bit of a break helps. So what have you found about energy levels and stuff?
Yeah. So, I had my blood work done every year, and, I was always, my vitamin levels were normal. So I never thought about it, never took a really good look about it. But I have the privilege of going to these physician lectures and nutritionist lectures due to my job. And I heard a nutritionist who I respect say, even if your blood work is within a range, you want to look at your levels and see if they're, normal but low.
Right,
normal,
exactly.
And so I just started taking B12 about a year ago, and wow, what a difference. I also take D3, but it added about 2.5 hours onto my evenings that's my exercise time. Yeah.
That's
so I tell all my friends, look at your blood work, maybe add a little B12, a little D3, and see. I was also, I think, a little iron deficient. So
okay. That can help too, right?
So that just really helps. And the water thing is key, because if you're going to go run a couple miles at the end of the day, you really can't if you're thirsty. You just feel, you don't feel good.
No, you don't. A lot of times if we're not hydrated, Sarah, we kind of replace it with hunger. Oh, I must be hungry, but we're actually just thirsty. So you can actually lose 1.5 pounds a week of drinking half your weight in ounces. That's, how much less food we would eat if we're hydrated. So it's very cool.
That makes me thirsty right now.
I know. I have to drink my water.
Like, where's my water? Let's talk about more into your specific routine. I know you work out with your children. Do you do anything besides that to motivate yourself? Do you do any challenges? Do you do any virtual, workouts with friends, things like that?
Yeah, I do miss the group setting. I was actually a kickboxing instructor for a very long time.
I didn't know that.
So I did all through medical school, and after I started a whole workout group for all the stress of medical school. Yeah, it was really nice. So one of these days when it goes back, I think I have to start that back. So I am with everybody else feeling kind of sad about, not being able to go to the gym. But as I've had little kids, I feel pretty grateful. I've always had like my weight set, and I have a workout machine at home, which is nice. But I think really there's so many various fitness apps and trackers here that really help. So I do have a fitness tracker that I use. And what I monitor a lot, and I tell my patients to monitor, actually is their heart rate and their resting heart rate. So I tell all my patients this is very important. So for you guys to know, so your max heart rate is 220 minus your age. So again, if you're 40 years old, take 220 minus 40. So that max heart rate is 180, okay? You're not gonna be there all the time, Sarah, obviously, but I have patients say, Doc, I work out 5 times a week, 6 times a week, what's going on? And I'm like, well, can you sing happy birthday when you work out? They're like, yeah, I don't get the question. I was like, no, then your heart rate's just chilling at 90 to 100. You have to work harder. So you want to know where your max heart rate is. And maybe you'll get there at the peak of your workout, but you'll hang out at 120s, 130s, like that. And then a resting heart rate, as we know, is directly linked and really intuitive of our cardiovascular fitness. So if you think about it, Sarah, the less our heart beats every second, every minute of every day, that's going to add longevity to our heart, right? Because if it's being at 120 a minute, it's not going to last till we're 100 probably, right? But if it's, lower 50s, 60s, 70s, and it's really more efficient, to make a huge difference. So, and for people that really do feel overwhelmed, I say if you have a smartphone, which almost everybody does, you can find the app or the tracker that resonates with you. You can Google, and everything is free now. There's so many free apps. Yoga, I do miss a lot. So I do yoga online, which makes me very, very happy. And I think we just have to, get that release sometimes, because I love cardio and sweating, but at the same time, we have to remember the stress of the pandemic and everything, taking a minute to ourselves. And I tell patients to try and incorporate yoga once or twice a week if they never have, and it can make a huge difference.
Yeah, there's something about how it's still a hard workout. Your body, even though it's slow, your muscles are just saying ow, and then afterwards it's like they say thank you, right? When you're all done and you feel peaceful.
Do, yes.
Your body,
I'm totally guilty of not always stretching as much as I should. Right before and after hurry, I have 37 minutes to work out, and then we go to work, right? But when you hold those poses, you're like, oh, that's what's going on, right? Yep. It makes a huge difference.
I love it. Okay. Okay, so it's gonna get cold. So this is where I fall off. I just get so bad with my exercise as soon as it's cold outside. My husband laughs at me. He's like, aren't you going to go running? And I'm like, no, it's like 35 degrees out there. No way. So, and that's pretty much all of winter for me. So what do you do? How do I fix me?
Yeah, no, I'm trying to fix you. Like those Game of Thrones lovers, like winter is coming, right? Like we know it's coming. And the thing is, the problem is, the lack of sunshine, it depletes those happiness hormones. So, right, we have dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, adrenaline. Those are those happiness hormones that are there. So I just have to remind patients, we have to have a plan now. So it is not super cold yet. So I want you to have an action plan for October, November, December indoor workouts, whether it's using a fitness tracker, whether it's, a treadmill or a Peloton or whatever you have at home, to kind of have that schedule, and it really helps. And we always say exercise is so important, but I have to say diet is key, right? So everyone knows me as a vegan health and wellness physician. That may not work for everybody, but I have to really, there's so much evidence-based medicine that shows us what we put in our body, what we're going to get out, right? So if we wake up in the morning and we have that sugary breakfast, or we have that Danish, we're not going to be inspired to sit inside and work out, right? So what we do in the beginning of the day makes a huge difference. So I think diet is crucial. And a lot of things are showing us now that if we eat, Sarah, in a smaller window, we actually can handle things much better. So America is actually like 80% in a fed state, right? We eat all the time. So there's a lot of evidence if we eat in smaller windows, based on your health, within 8 hours of eating, we eat between 10 and 6, or we don't have late night eating. That really helps us handle our day better. It helps us have more energy throughout the day. And then we can recover while we sleep. So that's what I tell my patients too, to kind of be prepared for the winter and cold, have an action plan, but we can't fall off on our, and I don't even like to call it the diet. I like to call it a lifestyle, right? If we say, oh, it's a diet, when's my cheat day? I don't think we should have that. We should have a lifestyle that works for us, that we try and focus on every day. If we fall off there, which it happens, I had 3 Oreos the other day, we just start again. That's it. We just have to give ourselves a break. But I think really in a world of chaos right now, it's good to have a little bit of control, and we can take that. This is what I'm going to plan for the winter, and this is how I'm going to eat. And I think it'll make a big difference.
Great. Yeah, with diets, it just seems like the word diet means it has a start and an end. And what happens when you end your diet?
That's what I'm saying. And there's so much evidence that plants are very, very good for us, right? So plant diversity is good. So I just say simply eat as many plants as you can, drink as much water as you can, work out as much as you can, and just give yourself a break. But it's important to kind of stick to those principles, but I don't like to use that word diet because it's such a negative connotation.
Well, thank you so much for doing this with me and our audience. And I think it was a huge success because neither of us were interrupted by children. So
Oh, it was very successful.
where
And
are
you
they?
didn't disrupt anything. I just want to say thank you so much. I love chatting with you. You always make such a difference and talk about such relevant topics. So I'm happy to help anytime.
Well, thank you. And we're going to get you to do one of those kickboxing for our workout of the
Oh,
week.
yes. I'm on it. I'm
To have
totally
it recorded. All right. Well, thank you, everybody. Check us out at wegetfit.org and don't forget to log your workout.
Take care.